but it looks like he's spreading back out. And in the place of the motor pool, it looks like Inverse does have a tank depot going up right now. So he went Tier 1, Tier 2, skipped Tier 3, and went right to Tier 4. We've got some landmines moving out with the mortar team right now. Just kind of, you know, plucking away at Audemed's defenses here. Looks like the riflemen found a crippling trap at some point and are now capping away. They do see the heavy machine gun team. And just look at this field of crippling traps out here. You can see Audemed has absolutely has APM to burn. He doesn't mind just putting crippling traps all over the place, taking full advantage of that unit's ability there. But meanwhile, Audemed is capping the second control point. So as you can see, the score is pretty even. It's 475 to Inverse, 404 to Audemed. So it looks like this mortar team here is still continuing to fire. I think it looks like these Pioneers were just kind of coming in to threaten a little bit, but they're going to have to get out of there. Definitely under a lot of fire. Is that mortar attempting to fire point blank? Yeah, it is. Oh, it actually looked like it may have even gotten someone there. Anyhow, so Wilson's Riflemen now continuing the fight out here on the right between the accomplished Volksgrenadiers and the Katzenmeyer's Volksgrenadiers. I want to see if they're going to throw a grenade. Yes, we do have a grenade landing right on Wilson's Rifleman. Will he get out of the way? Oh, I think that was Bazooka Joe. Bazooka Joe died, but it's okay. Bazooka Joe is immortal. Whenever he dies, someone else in the squad will just pick up that bazooka and keep going there. So it's okay. Have no fear. Anyhow. Right now, Audemed is really sustaining a lot of fire, and I got to say, nice deliberate usage of this mortar team here. You can see the mortar team just very closely following Inverse's troops, kind of sneaking right along, and Audemed is just kind of bumbling around here, and it really has to get out of the action. He kind of overextended. I think he could have, after Inverse retreat out, he could have taken this point and then just sat here, but instead he took the point and kept going, and that was a little bit too much to sustain. It looks like Bazooka Joe taking a whack at this half-track. Half-track firing back, but now getting out of the way here. And, finding some mines here. These riflemen, very wounded. There are 5 of them still, but you can see they're at like 25% health. Meanwhile, Flamethrower Engineers. Inverse, by the way, is level 3, so no sign of any sort of armor abilities anytime soon. I'm going to take a peek down here at Audemed for the time being and see what's up. You can see he replaced his Krieg Barracks with the Sturm Armory, and we do have a Stug out in the field right now. A single Stug for him could be really, really useful depending on how well Inverse can counter it, because Inverse does not have any sign of AT guns or anything like that. He likely could get sticky bombs in a jiffy, though. But we do have a sniper kind of picking around here, and just mortar shots continually landing all over the place. Notice this sniper providing really good defense here. Sniper working in unison with the mortar team, and you know, these two units are some of the highest damage dealing units, at least to infantry. Out there in the game, but the problem with them is they require so much micro, so I really do like seeing players use them and use them well. Especially this mortar team usage right now is catching my eye because it's so subtle. It's easy to miss details like how well he's been microing these mortars throughout the game. But they are so fragile and they're so awkward to use, and they're clunky, and you got to point them the right way, and they, you know, if they even take 2 casualties, they fall over dead. But if you use them right and you're constantly, you know, supporting them with your own troops, they do tons and tons of damage to the enemy. You can see 4 kills right there for those guys, not too bad. But notice he's just moving them away from fire. He's constantly keeping them out of harm's way. So, but meanwhile, we do have a ferocious-looking Stug attack right now. This is definitely a serious threat on the field right now for Inverse. Inverse, however, does have his first tank destroyer out there. Stugs have no turret. They just kind of have this, you know, slightly mobile gun in the front of them. I believe the Stug is actually the name of the gun, if my World War II history serves me correctly. It's not actually the name of the tank. It's the name of the gun that's encased in the body of the tank. Anyhow, though, M10 tank destroyer is on the prowl here. Vehicle super good at taking out other tanks, very mobile, but it is kind of weak, so you can see it plugging away. It's definitely going to be able to kill that half-track, although half-track is getting repaired and the Stugs now are coming in for the kill here. Tank destroyer definitely does not want to take too many side armor shots there, so looks like he's backing out. Wow, was that another mortar shot landing there? Yes, these mortars just constantly being annoying. You can see 9 kills for that mortar team. We do have a single stormtrooper squad out there for Audemed right now. Audemed busily upgrading them with the Panzerschreck upgrades, and you can see infantry pillage is activated as well. He's getting a little bit of money back from killing those guys, but they're taking off for the time being here. Looks like the flamethrower engineers getting out of the building now, getting back into it, and Stug most likely hit by a sticky bomb while I was looking at something else. It's got a damaged engine here, but it is getting repaired, so a lot of good front repairs here. So Audemed, by the way, is threatening to turn this game right around. by having all these Stugs out here. He's using them really well, and he's got good control of the map all of a sudden. You can see him capping his munitions points, and he has majority control over this map at this time, especially considering that he kind of owns this area, even though he hasn't quite capped it yet. So I'm going to take a look back at Inverse, and it looks like, unfortunately, Inverse has been forced to retreat with all of his units, so he doesn't have much of a field presence at this time. Got this single mortar team, but it doesn't really have sight to fire anywhere. So a couple of squads of riflemen now moving out for Inverse. It looks like the sniper is going to go ahead and take the left-hand side of the map. Bazooka Joe resupplying here, and the engineers just kind of repairing that beat-up tank destroyer. So Inverse has got his work cut out for him at this point. There is a strong defense here of Stugs. You can see Vet 1 up right now on Audemed Stugs. He did get his Kampfkraft Center up. And still, this has not been detonated. I mean, no reason to detonate it until you actually want to take it out. Oh, there we go. You can see the det pack right there in the ground. So he's just waiting for it, because you never know. He might be fighting later on in the game, and Vosgrandir walks by, kabam, blow it up. So meanwhile, it looks like the riflemen here for Inverse moving up. By the way, Inverse's riflemen do have the 20% sticky bomb increased range upgrade as an army item. I like to point those things out. That army item, by the way, remains invisible until you upgrade it, and then you can see it. So, starting to recap some of the stuff, you can see that this hero mortar team here, and I just mean hero like the actual word. It's not actually a heroic unit, but he's doing a pretty good job with it. You can see these engineers here finding a crippling trap. Sniper just kind of sniping away. Mortar team absolutely murdering a whole bunch of medics there. Yeah, this mortar team doing a great job. He has shifted all the way to the left now. And now it looks like Audemed is not going to let that go unnoticed. You can see he's got his Stormtroopers. He's got his Vet 2 now Stugs. Vet 2 Stugs come equipped with these MG42 gunners on top. Those guys really make these a lot more effective versus infantry. But not even wasting any time. Inverse throwing his sticky bombs in the front of this Stug right now, damaging the engine there. Mortar team going to have to get out of here for sure. They're not even wasting any time retreating. But man, look at how good these Stormtroopers are. Stormtroopers really just kind of wrecking in. Whoa, taking a sniper shot though. Sniper not wasting any time, picking away at people here. It looks like we are trying to cap this point right now with the riflemen, while the tank destroyer just kind of takes some pot shots at these Stormtroopers. But Stormtroopers kind of fading off into darkness once again, while the Stugs move out. And this Stug problem is getting very, very serious at this point. You can see the half-track is moving up. It looks like the Stormtroopers are going to be resupplying from that half-track. And these Vet 2 Stugs right now are really, really, really bad news here for Inverse. The tank destroyer is ill-equipped to deal with them. He definitely needs an anti-tank right now. It would be very useful, but unfortunately there's no way he's going to get that anytime soon. He's going to have to rely on armor. And Stug's just continuing to pound away here. These things are real tough little tin cans there. So looks like the Wilson's riflemen are in a nice little outside position here. He has spread his troops out very nicely. You know, you can see he's got some really good fundamentals here as always. But for the time being, the Stugs are the problem. And notice this little detail here, that Audemed, even though he swapped to the other side of the map, still has a single fatherland HMG team on this side of the map, just making sure that he's got his bases covered in case an attack comes from another direction. Looks like infantry pillage is activated. Manpower blitz is activated. I want to see if he's building anything with that manpower blitz. No, that ran out a long time ago. I'm a fool. Don't listen to me. Sherman tank now moving along. Sherman tank coming in trying to do a flank, but it looks like the M10 tank destroyer was taken out. These Stormtroopers right now just murdering a whole bunch of engineers. Sherman tank coming on in trying to do some damage, but really there's just too much going on right now for him to do anything. Auto repair is activated. Self-repair, I mean, but that Sherman tank is just taking way too much damage. 4 shots from the Stug at a time. Destroys it, and boom. There goes the Sherman. We have yet another sticky bomb out there, but at this point, these sticky bombs are just kind of like throwing rocks at a riot. You know, he's irritating Audemed, but it looks like he's not going to be able to get too much done here. Backcapping still going on. Sniper hanging out back there. Wilson's rifleman trying to cap this victory point, trying to keep the victory points under control. 404 points for Audemed right now. But it looks like Katsumaya's Volksgrenadiers and accomplished Volksgrenadiers just coming right along here and threatening Wilson's riflemen. So Wilson's riflemen did get that cap. Looks like the Stugs are just charging around. You know, I'm honestly surprised here that Audemed isn't just all-inning in the base right now. You know me. I tend to not like seeing that. By the way, that was a nice little flare used on that sniper. Stugs trying to take a pot shot at it. I'm usually not about all-ins, but at this point in the game, I think Audemed could afford it. But you know, there's a lot of money at stake here. He's in a big he's in a big tournament. He doesn't want to risk everything, so you can see playing cautiously, just making sure that he can just kind of stomp out any sort of insurgency in the background. Oh, God, Wilson's Rifleman, get out of there. Oh, Bazooka Joe. Oh, Bazooka Joe goes down. There was no way. Even a hero like Bazooka Joe cannot withstand that sort of firepower. And you can see he had to bite it like the rest of his soldiers. So Sniper moving out, Rifleman moving out. Things looking pretty grim for Inverse at the time being, though. I'm not going to count him out just yet, but, man, oh, Crippling Trap, is he going to avoid it? Yes, he does. And you can see, oh, no, these Stormtroopers are on the prowl, though. These guys are predators. They're looking for anybody. You can see the heavy machine gun team getting the suppression out there, and now the Stormtroopers likely going to pop out and finish the job. Yes, oh, with Infantry Pillage activated, they completely murder that squad. And we do have a GG from Inverse, so it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, Game 2 goes to Audemed, and this is going to move on to a ace match. So stay tuned for Game 3.